Okay, and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Field Glory Empires as Persia, continuing our war against Egypt. I think it's maybe going to be this part, maybe the next part, where we finally get that war to end. We'll see. So over the end turn, yeah, the stuff we had being built has mostly completed, so we can start getting it moving. To the front. You as well? Yeah. Get the army to group up there. Yeah, and the stuff coming all the way from Persia is probably going to take the longest. So is the alternative. How far can you march? In theory, you can march to there. Okay, so let's tell you to move to those guys. We'll actually tell them to move to there. And see how that goes. Apparently we inherited some shipbuilding from the Egyptians, so we'll go put those ships to sea so they don't get captured. Blockade some Egyptian ports. I suppose we'll do that. We'll move and blockade the ports. And then let's get around to our provinces. And remind myself that I should be putting the timer on so that we don't have an unduly timed episode. So we got 3 building slots here, although we can only build in 2 of them right now. Do probably want to get that regional road. And then here, we can hit the Great Forge, plus 1 legacy. Plus 29 money. This is going to cost us health, which isn't probably a problem. A little bit of metal. 50% metal bonus locally. Needs copper. Copper can be imported, so it's not too big of a problem. Perform replace yourself, whereas the army will use the output to equip their soldiers. Okay. Yeah, let's pick up the Great Forge. This is also a 0 slot because it's technically the upgrade of the existing forge. So that building will, this province will be back to building something else as soon as it's done. Although that might take a while, given how much there is to build. Do we have regional road here? We don't have regional road here. Grab the brickworks to work towards the regional road. You were looking for a particular building, you didn't hit it. Grab the school here. And the school needs a lot of production to get done in a short amount of time. So basically everyone on to production to accelerate the school. 2 turns. Market our school, we do school. Lots of building slots. Could grab a weapons manufacturer here. We already have weapons that could be imported to here, coming from Assyria or Medina, so we don't necessarily need a weapon manufacturer here. On the other hand, this is equipment in the province that builds the cataphracts. So if we want more cataphracts, they're very equipment heavy, so building more equipment here does make sense. Also gives us a 6 military building, allowing us to get into the tier 3 military buildings. So definite probable. So I'm going to grab it. Don't really need a wall here. It's not a very good market. We could probably do with decent food health, so we'll do Salt House. So calling it, I think last episode I actually called it the Curing House. It's basically what it's doing, though. 0 slot upgrade. In this case, upgrading the warehouse to a large warehouse, which is like 30 more infrastructure was predicting. Going to cost a little bit of money in manpower, but that's fine. We got excess manpower, and we got, well, we don't necessarily have excess money, but we have enough that we're not worried about it. You are looking for the armor. Weapons depot is not the armor. Stockpile's tempting, but picking the weapons depot is going to put more military buildings in the available structure list. So it's actually going to make it harder to hit what we want. So reroll here. One open building slot. Land expansion. We only need 150 more construction, so 71. That would be 1-ish. Not enough? Yeah. Clothing manufacturer, decent. Money building, although I think I'm going to go for the 0 slots. We're going to pick up the training guild, or training ground. We already have the military academy here. And this is serious. This is one of the places where we're making the weapons. We're getting offered the military school, which is probably something we want to pick up. That's the one that needs weapons. I think you need weapons in the location to build a military school. So whether you needed it in or built it locally. Making the troops in the province a little bit better. Although, maybe we don't build troops here super often. Yeah, maybe we don't build troops there super often, but that's fine. Back to the province. You need to say the military academy is reasonably infrastructure expensive, so as much as we can, people off of food and onto infrastructure to accelerate that construction. Okay, we'll be done, like, might be 2 turns. Depends on if we get anything. Well, actually, no, because we'll have a replacement training ground spot, so it'll be 3 turns. Smokehouse. Perfumery. Produces perfume. Doesn't have any inputs. Right now, because it doesn't have any of the bonuses, so it doesn't have frankincense, drugs, or amber, it's not going to make any money. How do we move perfume around? I know there's one building that moves it around. There's a lot that I think needs it. You see any perfume on the map? An idea of what we need to move. That's the dye, not the perfume. Thinking I might want to build one, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, but we don't have it produced anywhere, so I'm going to build one. It might not be the right place to build it, but we'll build one. And then we'll figure out if we need to move it around or if we can move it around. I don't think I've built any places that need it yet. I think it might actually be the Pleasure House line that needs it, but... Couple slots open there. Could grab the wall. Wouldn't necessarily be the worst place to grab a wall. We don't need the pottery there. Don't need the worship place there. Yeah, we'll grab the wall just to fish for the next tier, but military buildings. We do have, we're close enough to one of the gold locations. And we're not too worried about the decadence at this point. We're kind of stuck at high culture to decadence ratio right now, so I may kick myself later because I've collected too much decadence, but for the moment we're good. Raise up to house. Orchard. Yeah, we're gonna the street brawler here. Although we got enough construction there, I don't need to move people off of construction. Or off of food onto construction. 3 buildings there. Mill's tempting. We have the local grain, so 15 money, yeah. Sure. That should actually fix the food problem permanently in that location. Although we may still continue to lean onto food because it's a nice plain area. Very nice and big after all. Yeah, we'll go blacksmith. Couple open slots. These also are part of this province, right? Okay, so at some point we might want to grab those as well. Could grab the swamp draining, probably not worth it. Decent grounder because we have grain. Old house. There we go. One open building slot there. Gourd house, which will finish in the turn, so we didn't have to take anyone off of food. Tempted to grab the tannery, just get access to tier 2 commerce. If I needed the culture to ratio, I would probably do that building part or the tannery instead. Oh, and we presumably want some construction or some infrastructure to build it. There we go. We're looking for a particular building here. We haven't hit it yet. Tempted to grab the monument, although that makes the pool for fortune teller much bigger, so we'll skip. Yeah, we'll go farm. I'll open the food in the area. 1 and a 1. Trade house only has wild beasts. Ivory, there's no way to import it. Except for the Emporium, so we're gonna skip on that. Grab the workshop. I'm gonna build the quant. This is one of the places where we can potentially upgrade to paved roads, so we can just wait until we get paved roads. Or reroll, I suppose. Rent. And then we have enough infrastructure there that all finishes in turn. 6 building slots here. Regional road. Some building slots. You're looking for the weapons depot, which we have. Okay. Let's grab the guard tower for the extra little bit of garrison. Doesn't usually make a big difference to actual armies. Rebellions, it sometimes make a difference, and the barbarians, it sometimes make a difference, but rebellions, it usually doesn't. Two, 3, and a 1. Can we get one more infrastructure? Yes. Moving to a Papyrus range? We are. Sure. Let's pick the precept house, although it's going to take a while forever to build. Your archery. So pick the archery to start clearing you. You're brand new, so we can build the road. Province-wise, maybe it doesn't make sense to try to grab... Oh, it's also hill and forest. Yeah, it probably doesn't make sense to grab those province territories. Although we could... Is that 3? 3 of 6. Yeah. No, it doesn't make sense to grab them. Okay, for the moment I'm going to do something like this to move those guys together. I think that was... No, we got a couple more provinces to go through. 4 build slots down here. We've got olive oil. We've got olive oil coming from someone not planning on invading. That actually makes sense to pick up then. One open slot there. Irrigation system. Although it's only making food because we've got everyone on food production right now. This is a 0 slot. We'll do that. Decent possibility we will actually just keep everyone on food in that location, which will keep the place growing pretty quickly. Here we go. We're able to get it done in a turn. See if the canal gets presented as a future choice relatively quickly. Okay, we are actually building a little bit here. That's the last province. Got a couple idols up in Egypt. Let's maybe try to encourage the Egyptians to build some walls by building a wall. In that case, we'll build the wall, so that's fine. Okay, and then we can cycle the turn if there's no regionals we want to play. Yeah. Okay, our main field army is prepared for battle. The Egyptians, of course, I think the Egyptians may have just caught our cavalry unit. So the provincial garrison has has a terrible day. It's completely wiped. But we do get caught by the Egyptians. I think our raiding force here is about to be removed. Although, yeah, up until the rout, it didn't look that bad. We did get the Egyptian leader. In the chaos, the Egyptian leader died. Oh, we're getting jumped by rebels there. Okay, those guys are dead. There they go. It's about to go. Those guys are dead. Didn't die. And oh, actually no, they did die, and it was a different bunch of skirmishes that came in. We lost a bunch of skirmishes there. That's fine. Okay. Yeah. So we've got an army here. We got an army here that I think, assuming it can be adequately supplied, is just going to be decent for fighting Egyptian armies. There's a fairly decently large army, so let's go and try to engage it. Blocking the port for a turn. We're gonna unblockade the port to keep the unit from not having issues. And honestly, at this point, this army, if they keep coming for it, it's doomed. We're gonna take the commander off of command, because that's how doomed I think the situation is. We're gonna fall back. I think the Egyptians chase us if they're gonna try to delete that stack. You have an admiral? Yes. The stack merging up here even has a general, although that's a 1-1. Can we get, or a 0-0, can we get a better person? 1-1. 1-1 Spendthrift, okay. Oh, did one of you not finish before I send everyone out? Been a mistake if I'd had. Because I thought it timed them all to be done in one turn, but maybe I was wrong. Here, troglodyte is removed by armor. We haven't hit armor, and I maybe made the mistake of building too many military buildings to make the pool bigger. Yeah. That's a decent trading tent. Grab the trading tent. The rest of that can proceed as is. 2 open building slots. 1 is there. One of these 2 wants to be... Well, we need to keep a building slot around so we keep rolling for the Builder Guild. Probably want to pick up the warehouse. It's not being presented right now. I'm going to pick up the tavern just to get access to tier 2 culture buildings. Assuming we have wine access, we do. So you have a bonus for perfumes. Don't remember how we move them around. I think the higher tiers of this moves it around, but I'm not gonna build that yet. That's more decadence, which we don't need. Hopefully don't need. Yeah, we'll take the clear water. You're actually looking for the armor. There's the armor we were looking for. Cool. Two open slots. We don't need culture buildings just to have culture buildings. We're not interested in the fortune teller. There's other ways to move charcoal around, but do grab the charcoal or grab the charcoal ball here. I'd rather have the warehouse though for the 6th infrastructure building. Yeah, granted the brickworks wouldn't be bad either. 20 money with more buildings nearby would make more cloth, sure. One open building slot. You're mostly converted, so we don't need to bother with the cult line. Is that a decent? No, that's a pretty good orchard. I'm just missing the nuts and seeds. Yeah, that'll give us access to some other food buildings. In addition, probably the granary, which eventually we'll probably be making grain down there to make the granary better. Oops. In the province hall, we'll enter. Funerary be done next turn. I'm actually... Did I not put more people on it and screw up? Yeah, I probably should have finished it last turn, or finished it this turn, but it'll finish next turn. Regional road. Market. It's fine. Building slot there. Let's grab the crafting district. Oh, 4 building slots there. Question is, do we hit any of the ones we're interested in? The answer is probably no. We're looking for Builders Guild, we're looking for Large Warehouse. We didn't hit either of them. There's only 3 other options besides those 2 that we could hit. So of course we hit one of those options, right? We don't need lumber up here. Or clay pit. Could be convinced to build a brickworks to get the list to be a bit shorter. Yeah, let's build the furnace. Probably iron up here, so moving the iron around is not going to hurt. Mill Academy. Academy's done in 5. Oh, you're removed by the shepherd's house, which I don't have. Didn't roll it either. Well, maybe it looks like I don't have hemp timber in this location. Okay. I'll pick up hemp. Builder's hole. That's removed by the guild, so we might as well build the hole when it's presented. That's fine. Open building slot there. The Great Engineering School. Sadly missing the culture bonus for marble, though we got marble close enough nearby that if we get the noble district option later, we can definitely build that. Still makes culture even without that, though maybe not a good trade for money to culture. You need stone, which isn't a problem. Makes 1 legitimacy, makes 1 siege resist. And it's a faction-wide, not local, faction-wide infrastructure bonus. Yes, please. Get it done in 3 turns. Salt house. Three and a 2. Yeah, we'll grab another salt house here. Basically, anything does a reroll here because we got 3 open slots. Until we hit the fortune teller down here at the bottom. Hit fortune teller in a different location. Sure, we'll take the pottery here. We don't need the pottery, but so always move the pottery around. But we'll pick it up. This will give us access to tier 2 culture or tier 2 commerce in that region. One and a 1. Yeah, this is probably a place where we want a cult site. We might not keep it as a cult site, but as a cult site of the cult line, but oh, regional road. Oh, and I probably don't need that much infrastructure to get everything done. You're overkilled by 120. You're overkilled. Well, yeah, no, we'll roll as is. That'll be fine. It's actually not overkilled, but we had a reserve from previous building projects. A farm that we probably want. Yeah, build that farm. Upgrade the port. 6 open slots. We're gonna use none of them and build the monument. 3 open slots. Okay, farm. We'll get better, I think. I think we're getting a food malice maybe because we've got a bunch of people with the wrong culture. Either way, the region will appreciate a little more food. That's fine. The Great Sanctuary. 3 faction wild loyalty bonus. Yes, please. Some culture needs frankincense. Is importable, so that's not a problem. Yeah. Oh, this is the place out in the desert with the Noah basis. So it probably wants to be commerce or it wants to be culture. We don't need a slave market here. Could also put, oh, that's city guard. I thought that was like a couple other military buildings that would have been more interested in than have basically that picture. Might still be tempted to go Wheelmaker so we can get up to tier 2 infrastructure. Sure. Do like Wheelmaker, Brickworks. Get the regional road, and then when we get enough commerce, we can build the paved road that way. Oh, no, I want more food. Here we go, food full again. Four build slots here. Given where this is war-wise, building a guard tower that isn't a terrible idea. Nothing to build there, and there probably won't be until the war ends. Or no capacity to build anything there until the war ends, basically, is what that looks like. Seed storage wouldn't be the worst place. Get us some money from the grain. And produces food in what's probably the food province or food territory of the province. Yeah. And we can finish that in a turn without having to take any Distractions. Overbuilding by about 40. There we go. Paved road? Or public works, not paved road. Paved road is commerce version. Okay. The Lewis's, which are mostly going to be in Egypt. Oh, we've already upgraded it to a wall to do it bigger. And then Egypt, diplomacy-wise, they might be a little bit happier after their victories in the recent period of time. Yeah, not really. They're still at -6. If I'm asking for the regions I want, probably not going to give it to us. Right, you see, each one of these I'm asking for is dropping the probability they accept. Although, that is not 0% chance of them saying no. That's a 22% chance of them saying no. But I think I'm willing to roll a 22% chance. So let's propose that. Got that army on military campaign. You're moving. You're grouping up. I'm going to have to build a new cavalry force from scratch, which is fine. It means we can probably make a better one, because we'll be more able to build cataphracts to put in front of it, but we'll see. Okay, let's cycle a turn. It's not this turn, but it'll be the next turn we get the understanding of if they're going to accept the deal. Of course, running up the score will get them to accept the deal more than doing nothing, so we do want to be aggressive. "32 units, there's 38, so this is a big fight in the plains. 9v9, we've got 2 rolls, they've got 3. This might not be a fight, we win. Stalemate there in the center. 9v4, okay, we probably win that one. 8v4, we probably win. 6v2. 8v4. Skirmishing effects on the flanks. 9v9, 6v2, 8v2, okay. And we did get a net to defeat on them, so it does get a trigger pursuit phase. We get some more casualties when they retreat, so definitely not a defeat for us. Oh, and it's also not a, there was no wall in that city. So we just took it, and that's why the garrison was so big. Or why the troop numbering inflated from the army. Okay. The Scythia proposed we form alliance. I accept. Wait. You proposed an alliance and declared. Okay. That was... I'm like, yeah, I'll accept an alliance. Oh no, we're at war with you. What? Okay, I'm not gonna about that. Don't need the loyalty yet. Nope, and we lost that one. Is that the bar? No, we hadn't taken that one. Okay, so you're just taking your sweet time getting back there. You'll take it back from those rebels. In fact, I'm gonna go so far as assault the fort. Okay, I'll send you back to Prophet Port to recover. Go after the Egyptian army. I think the answer is yes. We want to continue to follow victory after victory. I'm surprised the Egyptians didn't follow us south. That probably means they're moving north. We'll move a little bit north to check. This mob is slowly growing, which is good. It's going to take a while for it to get all together, of course, because we've got guys coming from quite a distance away. And I'm going to wait until we get the response from Egypt or the existing one gets destroyed, the cavalry, before I start recruiting more cavalry. Could grab a coin maker. Wouldn't necessarily be a bad coin maker. We'd probably even eventually get the gold bonus because we'll probably build a mint somewhere nearby to get the gold imported. On the other hand, we probably want the armor to get rid of that. We didn't get hit with it. Probably do the reroll so we don't lose our opportunity. A build slot and a build slot. You're looking for a very particular building, you didn't hit it. You have a quant, which is basically a reroll, so take that. And then we'll take the wheelmaker here so we can get access to the 3 infrastructure buildings for line expansion. Regional road upgrades. No, don't, we don't need the papyrus, and we don't need to go up to canals, so we don't need the irrigation system to upgrade to canals, and as is often the case when you're going wells to irrigation system, it costs you food. Do the pottery instead. We don't need it, but we're going to produce it anyway. It was here that we made the perfumery. I'm thinking about it. What needs the perfumery? Pleasure Mansion, Pleasure District. Okay, so at some point we can go up the pleasure line to move the perfume around. It is reasonably valuable, so that is going to make the Pleasure Mansion district set pretty good from a trade perspective. Though, on the other hand, the only things that get it as a bonus is the pleasure house and the baths, which is maybe not things we're worried about. Maybe didn't need the perfumery. But now I know. Now I know what it does. We'll see how long I remember. Open building slot. Guard tower is not a bad idea. Grab the Circus Maximus. This is the wonder, so I'm not going to pass up on it because there's a low probability that it necessarily comes back. And it's a world wonder, so we're actually technically competing with the world to grab it. So yeah, build that as quick as you can. Obviously that means this province wants to go full infrastructure. To build the Circus Maximus. Military school done next turn. You've got nothing to build, so over to food. I'm not sure if the region makes enough infrastructure to go full infrastructure. Doesn't. Can almost go full, or full food. Can almost go full food. I don't need the loyalty penalty or the decadence bonus. Yeah, we don't need decadence to go up. Don't need the loyalty bonus. We need archery. Public bath is still in place. They need the perfume, so we haven't moved it around yet, so definitely gonna pass on that. And what is it? Money? 8 money? Okay. Here we're training a medium cav. Yeah. And all the food buildings are pretty eh. So there's maybe an argument to build a shepherd's house here just to get access to tier 2 food. Though that's the same argument in the Usher. That's why I was looking at the Usher. Just gonna shuffle. We can get better commerce buildings later. Get a better commerce choice. A bank. Making 40 gold. Or 40 money with the gold. Cool. Next. We now make enough food here. We don't need to leave people on food production. We got a lot of building infrastructure buildings. Yes, we were building for frequent earthquakes. Or get rid of frequent earthquakes. And we've been presented with the Builders Guild. So obviously we're doing that to get rid of it. Get rid of the malice. Get rid of this. I believe this is just a 2% chance a turn. So it'll be a while before we get rid of it. well, a decent well on a plain tile. So yeah, that makes sense to build. And that's what we need to get rid of the dense scrub, so we should pick that up. There we go. Okay, so the region's making no net food. It will after the shepherd house is done, but it can put everyone on infrastructure, so that's also good to see. Granary, which will be done next turn, sure. Great. Engineering school, 2 turns. Guard tower? No, we'll do the preceptor house instead. We don't have a lot of people in the island, so Assault House is not bad. One open building slot in your location. Okay. This is a place where we will probably want a barracks, because we train medium infantry here. So, well, we train troops here. So, or not medium, we train the mountain? Heavy fighters from the mountains in this province. So, more XP to newly trained troops is always great. In provinces where you're actually training troops. 1 build slot. A bank. A decent bank. Sure. How overbuild am I? We're not gonna worry about it. Next, 2 open slots. That location. Is a decent farm there? We'll grab the farm. 6 open building slots. I'd rather have the orchard or the farm. Or even the master hunter than the flax field, so no. Grab the stables here. This will give us another place we could recruit cavalry from. What's the provincial here? Type of slingers, skirmishers. 6. Okay. Or we can drag the copper in the copperworks. So let's drag the copper in the copperworks. Okay, next. 4 and a 2. Let's grab the crafting district. And the monument. Do we need you there for the loyalty? We do. 4. Although this is a terrible place. Because we're never going to get the shifting dudes. Probably the brickworks. Now we can get access to the regional road. Working that great sanctuary. Working on stuff there. 4 build slots there. Could work with the warehouse line. Nothing to build here, so move a bunch of guys off of infrastructure. 70 off I can. There we go. Make a bunch of food. This region is actually productive enough I can probably be food positive, or food steady. There we go. Then any idols, there's probably going to be Egyptian, there aren't. Okay, let's cycle the turn, get our response from the Egyptians here. Okay, so the Egyptians responded with the positive. There be peace. Mountain guys do their stuff in the mountains. 10v5, yeah. Nice, easy cleanup. And I suppose if I'm at war with the Scythians, I might as well take over more territory north. Anyway, you can see the legacy point swing there. So now we're within 900 legacy points of Egypt, and we're gaining on them like 60 a turn. So that's a good start. Yeah, we'll start with something like that. We're gonna figure out how we're gonna fight Scythia. We probably want to bring up the main army, because it'll fight better in everywhere that is, you know, not actually the mountains. I don't trust it when it says that's the best way out. Yeah, we're gonna go there. And then we'll recalculate at that point. Scythia doesn't have a coastline yet, so let's leave the boats here in port. This army's still kind of merging up. Although it's almost all the way together at this point. Extra slave in the capital, where we're still building stuff. Okay. Sure, grab the line expansion. It's not the building we need to get rid of the troglodyte caves, but that's fine. No in the irrigation system. Don't need the city guard that badly. Decent stone cutter? Expert stone cutter? Sure. It's either that or the coastal. Actually, that is as good as the coastal market's gonna get. And that would get me access to tier 3 commerce buildings, which includes really nice buildings like the commercial port, or actually the upgrade of the commercial port. A couple of yeah, let's pick up the coastal markets and get the commerce buildings. Potentially get the paved road as well. And here we're looking for the guild. We finally hit the guild. There we go. And I'm actually going to get the training ground here instead of the monument. Get the military expertise ratio up. I just remembered it. In the earlier part, I said I was going to look at the military expertise ratio we've got right now and forgot to look at it. So we've got average military expertise. One of these places I can see where the actual number is. National traits? Yeah. So we've got a ratio of 1.46. We've got 1.5 military buildings basically per territory. If the ratio reaches 4, we get bonuses. And the bonuses go up, I think, all the way up until you get 10. So more military buildings is not bad. We definitely want to raise this ratio. And we definitely don't want it going below 1. Right, so we need it to keep going up, not decline. If we take over more territory, it's going to be tempting to decline it accidentally. This is not a place where we build archers, although the equipment bonus wouldn't be lost on us here. Yeah, because that'll help with the training of people quicker. You can take the 0 slot instead, though. We've got the armor to clear the bandits, so we're just being patient here. Military store for the equipment stockpile is not bad. Given this is a place where I specifically want to start stocking up on stuff, although this is the plain in the region where we want to build up a farm. Probably want something besides the ranch, though. Because we can import the cattle with the smokehouse, for example. So we'll do the smokehouse. Yeah, okay. Could grab the prison. I'm not searching for more Decans reduction, so we're not too bothered about that. It's not a good market. Let's grab the weapons depot. We're probably not going to train here anytime soon, but when we want to train, that is a good thing to use. Grab the stable bonus in case we do train cavalry in the area. Monument. That is a pretty good tavern. And we don't have any copper, silver, or gold here. Okay. So yeah, let's go to the tavern. Because apparently that's better than the coin maker, to give you an example. Yeah. 2 there. I could grab the anchorage there. We're at the point where we're building our ships. We don't draft the ships with national modifier, so I'm not too worried about things appearing in the wrong spot. So yeah, we'll build the ship there, or build the harbor there. It may be a situation where I don't want to upgrade that anchorage because the main benefits of upgrading it is manpower and the ability to build better ships, and we're never going to build any ships there. Don't need that, don't need that. Probably not going to build troops here. Although that would have access to level 2 if we pick that up. Sure. Military buildings. And there's another military building ready using the military ratio. Should finish in the turn? Yeah. Bank, cool. Oops, too quickly. Guess I want to build something there. No. Don't need the equipment here. Several market though. And it's not a terrible armor, so we'll do the armor. Don't need to upgrade the well yet. Yeah, let's get the salt house. Academy will done 3. Stone cutter. One slot there. Upgrade that harbor. That is a harbor we may occasionally build ships out of. Engineering school should be done next turn. Precept house should be done next turn. Oh, this is the place I've been waiting for the fortune teller, so that's good. So we'll get that fortune teller in. It's almost got about to pass up the fortune teller when I realized where I was. Because it's so infrequently I built fortune tellers. And this is definitely a place we want to build the barracks. No, nothing to build there. Okay, swamp infrastructure over to food. Probably only for a turn before we're going to have enough new people to want to build stuff again, but... Decent quant, we're actually getting 2 food off of it. Five open slots. Decent trading tent. And there's definitely ways to get frankincense to this location to make it better. Sure. On the other hand, do I want to get tier 3 culture? The answer is yes. Do I need... Yes, I do need the loyalty there, so... Regional roads. Granted, this place is also bad for infrastructure, so there's maybe an argument to move all the people off of infrastructure as well. And again, this is not one we can remove. It is what it is. Okay. Iron carriage there. So we're probably at the point, either I want to sell more stuff to Judea to strengthen the southern border, or I want to annex Judea. One or the other. This would be one of the places where we'd be tempted to, instead of keeping it, sell it off to Judea. Because yeah, the situation is so bad. Can't get net construction. I don't even need construction. What's eating so much construction here? 5 upkeep? Yet you've got no... Nothing in theory is taking any. And then you've been raided, that's why you're terrible. So the next question is, can I get net food production? If we were to swap off of infrastructure. Yeah. Okay, so I could just give up on building anything and try to grow a little bit more people. Although that's going to be glacial. Okay. So Judea. Transaction. I want you... You don't like me enough. Fair enough. So I want you to become one with me. The answer from them is, we don't like you that much. We can do that with our client state, but we don't want to do that with the other client state. What's your opinion of us? Pretty neutral. Send you some money, make that better. Your opinion of us? Cordial. 0% chance you'd become an ally. Supposedly I own some of your objectives, so what would it take for you to give up your objectives on me? We'll pay in metal. Because we got a bunch of that clinking around. A little bit of manpower as well. Yeah. We're with war with you. They're already willing to partially consider peace. And they do absolutely dislike me, though. I'm probably better off, like, subjugating them, making them a subject, than taking just a white piece. You're at 1, you're at 24. Okay. Probably better off getting you to be reasonably happy. Do you have objectives on me? Sure. Let's try to fix that. They don't want manpower, can't give them any of that. 880 metal? There we go. And then Judea. Let me guess, you probably have objectives on me? No. Never mind then. And you, do you have objectives on me? You do. They quite want their objectives on me. Again, we're gonna pay them off so they don't have them anymore. Yeah, close enough. I'll take that gamble. And I think I just went through and did everything. Oops, one of those. That one. Wait, I literally went through all of them. It was just one that needed something. Did I just miss near the end? Yeah, it must just miss near the end. Okay. Public Works first. We're not going to make enough money from the dyes there, so we're not going to bother. Courthouse. Eventually. Yeah, might as well pick that up now. We'll want to accelerate that. We don't need the... Oh, this is a coastal fortress. There is an argument to getting a coastal fortress here. And that is it would help suppress the pirates that ever spawn on that ocean. Sure. Okay, that was the one idle. So, let our troops march. We got some peace treaties going out. No real regionals I'm interested in. Let's cycle the turn, and then look at the time. This is where we're going to go ahead and put a part break in for YouTube at the end of this end turn. It should be a mostly uneventful end turn here. With the exception of our mounted troops going out into the Alpine there. Still in the pressing tier. I think we're still catching up pretty quickly with Egypt. Yeah, we give them gift, that's fine. Food and water for the population. More importantly, sanitation. We don't need SE's commercial ships, okay. And yeah, legacy-wise, we're gaining 84 to Egypt's 22. So we're gaining on them 62 a turn. So it's going to be a little over 12 turns, and we should be ahead of them. And then from then on, we'll always be ahead of them. We'll probably still go to war with them again to try and make more legacy off of them, but we'll try to be a little bit better prepared next time. I think will be the plan. We kind of got caught up with losing the border with them in the middle of the invasion, which threw off the tempo. But yeah, this is where we're going to head and put the part break in. If you're watching on YouTube, there will be another part up tomorrow. We're going to try to record 2 more parts tonight. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I'm going to mute the mic for a short bit to sip a little bit of tea, but then we'll get right back to recording. So until the next part, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.